and today I am here to finally react to the Death on the Nile trailer. I have been looking forward to this movie. When did I read the book? Back in like March or whatever? I knew about the movie before I read the book. That was why I read the book, was to catch up before the movie came out. And I've been so looking forward to it. But I don't know, you've probably noticed this year, movies aren't coming out, and the longer and longer we went without a trailer, I just assumed that they would be pushing the movie back to next year, like pretty much every other movie has been. Somewhat worryingly, they haven't, which makes me think that they're just kind of considering this a dump, like that it's not going to make money anyway, and they were like, why not just release it to get something out, because I don't think come October or whenever this, whatever day this is coming out, we're going to be much better off, at least here. I mean, some other countries, yeah, I know, are actually getting to go to the movie theaters and stuff because they've been following the protocols they're supposed to. But yeah, I'm excited for this movie. I in no way, shape, or form think that I'm actually going to go to a movie theater in October and see it though. So hopefully they offer it on demand or something, or I just will have to wait till next year when, I can actually see it. So, aside from all that doom and gloom, I am very excited to see this. One of the biggest reasons I'm excited to see it, Emma Mackey, guys. She plays Maeve in Sex Education. I just watched Sex Education for the first time this year in February, right? Because February is when the second one came out. So yeah, February. I'm really, really excited for just to see her in a different role and a different big motion picture. I think that's real exciting. It also has Wonder Woman in it, who I freaking love, and yeah, I'm just excited to see what we got going on. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do with all this junk? So pretty. Oh gosh, I forgot it's the 1920s, so it's this big cameras that are man. There she is. Oh, she's so pretty. She has the brown hair too. I was wondering what she was gonna have. And there's Wonder Woman. Can you imagine, pause a sec, if you were a movie star back then, how freaking annoying must have those flash bulb giant ones must have, I see a camera nowadays on a phone or something and I get my picture taken and the flash sticks with me for a minute. I can't imagine back then. You must have been help. Look how cute she is. I do think it's weird too though that if you read the book, Gal's character and Emma's are old friends. I do think it's weird that Gal is 10 years older than her. I just feel they could have cast someone a bit older for Emma's character, or they could have swapped it and then Emma could have been the young one that she brought up or whatever, you know what I mean? I just feel that would have worked a little better. Whatever. Shuri. Spin that knife, girl. So they get married and then they go to the Nile. Oh, Rose. Oh, she's so freaking pretty. Look at that outfit. Well, that was a lot that just happened right there. Oh, it's so pretty at night. I don't remember a scene like that in the books with the flare. And she's dead in the... She was just dead in her cabin. Who's dead in the water? Well, I mean, it always is. She has an American accent? Oh, that's so funny. What is this going on? I would be get over. Army camp. Look at his stupid mustache. Remember how when the first movie came out, the song in the trailer was Believer, and it was such a hot song when it came out. It was on Riverdale, it was on everything, and it was just yeah, I feel that song that they just picked did not do as much as the other one did. It was just kind of woo woo. But I really like the juxtaposition of the last movie and this movie, particularly how they framed it, but also when you read the books especially. The first movie he was very adamant, and the first book, I always mean the first book when I say the first, he was very adamant that there is no gray in crime. There is black and white, and there's guilty and not guilty, and it doesn't matter your motives or your mean or why you did what you did, it's just you're guilty and you're guilty. So that's what he believed. Throughout the first book, though, he learned that that is actually not as true as he thought it was, because if you've seen Murder on the Orient Express, you know there was all these people kind of involved in this grand scheme of things that were doing it for a reason that you can't really be dude didn't have it coming, you know what I mean? And that's not even just because of the fact that he was played by Johnny Depp. No, it's more him learned throughout that okay, maybe it's not as black and white as I originally claimed, and at the end, throughout the whole thing, what he ends up doing is he doesn't turn them in for the crime, he goes along with this burglar theory that there was just like a random person that jumped onto the train, stabbed the dude, and took off, and he's lost. So like that's his character growth. The main detective guy, as he's just, I'm sorry that I call him the main detective guy. I know he's like super famous, but I'm terrible at pronouncing his name. I'm sorry, Agatha Christie. That's his journey throughout, is to realize like, you know, that's his character growth. It's like, oh, it's not always as black and white as I thought, and then he ends up protecting these people. So I think it's very interesting that in this one now he's saying like, this is a crime that has shook me to my core, you know, like it's one of the most heinous acts I've ever seen. And if you've read the book, oh baby, yeah, it's like, it's balls to the walls, like just the thought and plot behind it. And also I feel like the non-guilt at the end, you know, when you find out who the murderer is, just how indifferent they seem to the whole thing and just kind of resigned to what is actually happening. So I like that kind of idea of, it's very different from the first movie, where the first movie was learning about how like there was clearly a means to this that kind of maybe justified it in a certain way. This one, there's no justification for it, and it's kind of this glitz and this glam of everyone gets caught up in deceptions and lies and untruths and stuff like that, and it's going to be very, very interesting. The thing I love most about these movies is the just set design and the costumes. I think they do an excellent job, and they have a really good budget for that. Like I said, since it does seem to be like a dump movie where they're just like, put it out, like who cares? I feel like this might be the last one in the series, although they had always planned for it to be like a multiple series, you know, like not just two. So that's kind of disappointing, because I did want to see more, you know. I feel like Murder on the Orient Express is always the big one. Death on the Nile I didn't know as much about, and I wanted to see other ones I didn't know as much about. And it's always fun getting to see the different cast of characters too, which is really cool. Just like different ones who might not interact usually in like other things. Getting like a big cast of them is really cool. Like this one even has Shuri. It's got what's her face from Game of Thrones, who I don't watch Game of Thrones, but I love her. And it's got Emma, obviously, Gal. This is gonna be controversial, but I'm not that big of a fan of Armie Hammer, honestly. Like, there's something weird about that dude. But, yeah, so but he's also, like, not gonna be, like, the guy that you're necessarily rooting for in this, so I'm fine with that. I'm just really, really interested to see it. So, yeah, if you are planning on seeing this movie and have seen the trailer, please feel free to leave your thoughts about it down in the comments. One thing I am really kind of nervous about is, I said this in my book review back in March, is that if you look at like the cast of characters, it seems like they are condensing or maybe combining some characters, since it's a big production and not all the stories are related necessarily in ways of like, it's kind of just like red herrings, and then you find out like, oh, the red herring was actually because they were doing this. But I do really hope that my favorite characters are there. I think the girl who plays Shuri is playing one of my favorite characters, the one that stays with like her mom and then ends up like having her own kind of storyline that I really like. So I'm excited for that. I just think there's also another one that I can't remember, but I really liked her, and I think when I looked at the list of characters, she wasn't on that. So I'm thinking maybe they're just, yeah, like combining characters or something like that. So that's a bit worrisome there, if you know what I mean. But other than that, yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, leave your thoughts about it down in the comments, what you think of the trailer. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!